I'm the ASMR Psychologist. Welcome to my channel. Now, today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. We are going to be looking at a branch of psychology called sleep psychology. And this is a unique merger of psychological science and practice with sleep science and practice. And we're going to use it in this little mini-series, this sleep psychology series, to help us to understand a little more about our sleep. Because as I always say, understanding is it's the most powerful thing that we have. It puts us in the strongest position to make a change if and when we need to. And today we're going to be doing a test that helps to differentiate between morning types and evening types, or larks and owls. And if after this video you're interested in knowing a little more, I will put the link to the academic paper that this test has been drawn from. And if you like the idea of this series, if you enjoy this video, let me know by giving me an up thumb so I know to continue with it. And if you're not already a member of my community, please consider joining me by subscribing. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything good. Okay, so we have an internal clock, sometimes referred to as the circadian rhythm, and it kind of tells us the best time for us as individuals to wake up, to go to sleep, to eat, to exercise, to work, when we're at our most productive. And it's slightly different for everybody. Some people are at their best in the morning, some people are at their best mid-afternoon, some people in the evening, late at night maybe. So some people will find it really very easy to fall asleep early evening, other people struggle before midnight. And understanding your internal clock can really help you to understand why you feel what you feel when you feel it. It can help you to plan your day, and also it lets you know when you maybe have to retrain yourself if your day doesn't quite fit in with your natural rhythm. So understanding is key. It helps us make sense of things, and I think when we understand, we feel calmer, more empowered. Things are definitely less scary if they make sense. Okay, so this test has 19 questions, and you get a score for each question. I think it's 1 to 4 or 1 to 5. So you can either, if you're good at mental arithmetic, which I'm really not, keep a mental note or jot the scores down. And then at the end we'll add the scores up and I'll tell you what they mean. Okay, so I'm going to do it as well, so I'll let you know at the end what my score is. Okay, so Question 1. What time would you get up if you were entirely free to plan your day? Between 5 and 6:29 a.m. That's 5 points. 6:30 and 7:44 a.m. That's 4 points. 7:45 and 9:44 a.m. 3 points. 9:45 and 10:59 a.m. That's 2 points. 11 and 11:59 a.m. 1 point. And for 0 points, midday to 5 p.m. Okay. Question 2. What time would you go to bed if you were entirely free to plan your evening? 8 to 8:59 p.m. 5 points. 9 to 10:14 p.m. 4 points. 10:15 to 12:29 a.m. So just after midnight. 3 points. 12:30 midnight to 1:44 a.m. 2 points. 1:45 to 2:59 a.m. is 1 point. And 3 a.m. to 8 a.m. 0 points. Okay. Question 3. Is there a specific time at which you have to get up? If there is a specific time at which you have to get up in the morning, to what extent do you depend on being woken up by an alarm clock? Not at all dependent, 4 points. Slightly dependent, 3 points. Fairly dependent, 2 points. Very dependent, 1 point. And remember, as you're doing this test, it's not an exact science, so just go with the question that feels right, that resonates the most with you. Try not to overthink it too much. This isn't diagnostic, this is just to increase your understanding. So try not to get too caught up in the details. I think sometimes when we are doing a test, we can get tangled up a bit in what's right and what's wrong. Well, I know I do. Okay, question 4. How easy do you find it to get up in the morning when you are not woken up unexpectedly? Not at all easily, 1 point. Not very easily, 2 points. Fairly easily, 3 points. And very easily, 4 points. Question 5. How alert do you feel during the first half hour after you wake up in the morning? Not at all alert, 1 point. Slightly alert, 2 points. Fairly alert, 3 points. Very alert, 4 points. Okay. Question 6. How hungry do you feel during the first half hour after you wake in the morning? Not at all hungry, 1 point. Slightly hungry, 2 points. Fairly hungry, 3 points. Very hungry, 4 During the first half hour after you wake in the morning, how tired do you feel? Very tired, 1 point. Fairly tired, 2 points. Fairly refreshed, 3 points. Very refreshed, 4 points. Question 8. If you have no commitment the next day, what time would you go to bed compared to your usual bedtime? Seldom or never later, 4 points. Less than 1 hour later, 3 points. 1 to 2 hours later, 2 points. More than 2 hours later, 1 point. Okay. Question 9. You have decided to engage in some physical exercise. A friend suggests that you do this for 1 hour twice a week, and the best time for him or her is between 7 and 8 a.m. Bearing in mind nothing but your own internal clock. How do you think you would perform? Would be in good form, 4 points. Would be in reasonable form, 3 points. Would find it difficult, 2 points. Would find it very difficult, 1 point. And remember, you're only considering your internal clock, nothing else. Okay. I just changed my answer then. Number 10. At what time of day do you feel you become tired as a result of need for sleep? 8 to 8:59 p.m, 5 points. 9 to 10:14 p.m, 4 points. 10:15 p.m. to 12:44 a.m, 3 points. 12:45 to 1:59 a.m, 2 points. And for 1 point, 2 to 3 a.m. Question 11. You want to be at your peak performance for a test that you know is going to be mentally exhausting. It will last for 2 hours. You are entirely free to plan your day. Considering your own internal clock, which one of the 4 testing times would you choose? 8 to 10 a.m, 4 points. 11 a.m. to 1 p.m, 3 points. 3 to 5 p.m, 2 points. 7 to 9 p.m, 1 point. Question 12. If you got to bed at 11 p.m, how tired would you be? Not at all tired, 1 point. A little tired, 2 points. Fairly tired, 3 points. Very tired, 4 points. This one's quite easy for me. Okay. Question 13. For some reason, you have gone to bed several hours later than usual. but there is no need to get up at any particular time the next morning. Which one of the following are you most likely to do? Will wake up at usual time, but not, as in capital letters here, but not fall back asleep for 4 points. Will wake up at usual time and will doze thereafter, 3 points. Will wake up at usual time but will fall asleep again, 2 points. Will not, in capital letters, wake up until later than usual, 1 point. Okay, question 14. One night. You have to remain awake between 4 and 6 a.m. in order to carry out a night watch. You have no other commitments the next day. Which one of the alternatives will suit you best? Would not, in capital letters, go to bed until watch was over, 1 point. Would take a nap before and sleep after, 2 points. Would take a good sleep before and nap after, 3 points. Would sleep only before watch, 4 points. Okay. Question 15. You have to do 2 hours of physical work. You are entirely free to plan your day. And considering your own internal clock, which one of the following times would you choose? 8 to 10 a.m., 4 points. 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., 3 points. 3 to 5 p.m., 2 points. And 7 to 9 p.m., 1 point. Okay, question 16. You have decided to engage in hard physical exercise. A friend suggests that you do this for 1 hour twice a week, and the best time for him or her is between 10 and 11 p.m. Bearing in mind nothing else but your internal clock, how well do you think you would perform? Would be in good form, 4 points. Would be in reasonable form, 3 points. Would find it difficult, 2 points. Would find it very difficult, 1 point. I know the answer to that easily too. Okay, question 17. 3 more questions to go. Suppose that you choose your school hours. Assume that you went to school for 5 hours per day and that school was interesting and enjoyable. Which 5 consecutive hours would you select? 5 hours starting between 4 and 7:59 a.m., 5 points. 5 hours starting between 8 and 8:59 a.m., 4 points. 5 hours starting between 9 a.m. and 1:59 p.m., 3 points. 5 hours starting between 2 and 4:59 p.m., 2 points. And 5 hours starting between 5 p.m. and that doesn't make sense here. So 5, that must be 9. There's a misprint here. So quick little bit of maths. 5 hours between 5 p.m. and 9:59 a.m., 1 point. Okay. Sorry if that wasn't confusing. Okay. Question 18. At what time of the day do you think that you reach your peak of feeling at your best? 5 to 7:59 a.m., 5 points. 8 to 9:59 a.m., 4 points. 10 a.m. to 4:59 p.m., 3 points. Or 5 to 9:59 p.m., 2 points. Okay, we've got one more question. Hold on, sorry, there was another part. That question has another option for 1 point, 10 p.m. to 4:59 a.m. Sorry, I missed that. I don't think my answer changes. Okay, question 19. One hears about morning and evening types of people. Which one of these types do you consider yourself to be? Definitely a morning type. 6 points. Rather more a morning type than an evening type. 4 points. Rather more an evening type than a morning type. 2 points. Definitely an evening type. 0 points. Okay. So that's the end of the test. Quickly jot up your scores. Okay, so okay, so here we go. If you scored between 16 and 30, definite evening type, definite owl. 31 to 41, moderate evening. 42 to 58, intermediate. 59 to 69, moderate morning. 70 to 86, definite morning, so definite lark. Okay. I got to 69, so I'm right on the edge of moderate morning, which doesn't surprise me. So, what to do? This is your natural inclination. This gives you an idea of your internal body clock as nature has set it. And maybe this works for you. It fits well with the job that you've chosen and your other responsibilities, or maybe not. But the good news is it is possible to retrain yourself. You need to know, though, if you've got to put some effort there. Because if you don't, you'll just be left always feeling a bit tired and a bit like you wish you were somewhere else. So, if you've discovered that your internal clock is not best suited to the way you're currently living your life, the best thing to do is to look at changing your morning and bedtime routine. There is a video that I've done looking at this. It was part of the sleep clinic series, and I will put a link to that in the description. It's, if you set your mind to it and you do it consistently, it's easy to retrain yourself. Probably take a week to 10 days. I'm just going to jot a note down to myself to put the link in the description. I know sometimes I promise and then I forget. But if this test has revealed that you need to retrain yourself, check that video out because it really will help you. Okay, so I hope that was interesting and enjoyable. If you are interested in some exclusive content, you can pop over and see me on Patreon. The link should pop up here. in the meantime, I hope that you enjoy whatever it is that you're doing next, and I will see you really soon.